All right. Join with me, Yume.
Yep.
I'm Dark Kuko, and I think we are all ready. So can we have a countdown? In three,
Three,
two,
two,
one,
one,
go!
go!
So first of all, we see both runners here in the open mode deciding to go either to the sanctuary or to the house and pick up the first item.
That's intentional.
So we have the heart piece at the house and the small key at the sanctuary chest. That is interesting.
That is really interesting seeing that key there. I personally have not seen that key being there in the randos I have played myself up
Yeah.
to this point.
But I think best to start at the beginning. Yume, would you explain to us what the randomizer is?
Yeah, the randomizer is technically the Link to the Past game, how you know it from most likely your childhood, but most of the items are randomized so that you can actually finish the game. So there is a logic behind it, so that you only can find items where they are useful to you actually. And yeah, where you can reach them with the stuff that you can get from other places.
Yeah, at this point we saw a check of the Lumberjack Cave and a quick map check here from Crrool. The Lumberjack Cave is interesting if that item is something you need to beat the seed. You have to beat Aghanim 1. But it was only a shield, so we might not see Aghanim 1.
Yeah, and looking at that shield, with the newer logics, there are procedural items, so you cannot get the best sword or the best shield right off the bat.
Yeah, but
You always get the lowest tier, the next tier, and so
Oh.
on.
validation arrow on both sides. There
Oh,
is
yes.
one single arrow item in the entire game, and we kind of call it the validation arrow. It is the one, if you have silver arrows, that will kill Ganon in the end.
Yes, so we actually have single arrow percent confirmed here.
Yeah, and now they are heading to Kakariko, where the first time they will check a lot of items. You want to have 100 rupees at least coming here, both of them having 300. Crrool checked the pull tree and found blue rupees, so he has actually a little bit more money, which is really great. And we see a first route deviation here, 100 rupees for arrow upgrade by Zelda, and Crrool is checking blindside. It's nothing major now. Heart piece.
Piece of heart, more bucks.
And
some
the bombs. The bombs are actually, and the
Ooh, and
flippers.
the flippers, nice.
The bombs are actually interesting here because you need 3 bombs to check everything in Kakariko. So if they hadn't found bombs here, they had to go to the shop and buy bombs. Bombs are 50 rupees for 10 bombs. It's not a bad deal, I guess. They will get some if they don't find new bombs, because there are quite a few early bomb places.
Exactly, yeah. And also something that is a little bit special to the rando is the sprites that you see here that both of the players are using. Crrool with the frog from Chrono Trigger and Xitaczz with Kirby, which, well, you just saw like 10 minutes ago here on this channel.
And
And
Quake
we got
in the
the
well.
Wi-Fi coin.
Yeah, what's interesting about the logic right now, it prefers dungeons over overworld locations, so if you can go for a dungeon, do so. There is even a chance for really good items in Turtle Rock. Like, the bow has a 4% chance to be there. They changed it up. And at this point, the first shout out for a lot of work by VTorp, Crystal Zone, and all the other people helping them out with the randomizer. It is advancing very fast. We are now at version 8.26. Huge steps towards version 9, which will come out most likely this year.
Yeah, and actually no one got the chicken glitched into the wall of the hut.
Which I am very glad about. Don't mistreat
Why?
Kukos. Please!
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
And Zeta is not going for the bomb vendor, and he actually has a tiny lead there with the bombs from the inn. Crrool will get them, and he will not be too happy, I guess, because he just spent rupees to get exactly those bombs.
Yeah.
And it's tiny gambles like that that can actually change how the seed is going on so far. So both are heading down to the library. Okay, another map check. One at Desert, 2 pendants over at Eastern and Hera. And Hera has the green pendant, which is interesting. Bombs in the
Only
library.
bombs on the library, yes.
But the race is actually interesting. And right now the race will take longer. It takes about 10 seconds. Xitaczz taking the gamble here while Crrool sees the arrow upgrade and just heads out with a save and quit. He will go to the south side now. Dam area, stuff like this, down south, we will see that soon. While Xitaczz has to do a 10-second race here to get the item.
Crrool actually is opting to go straight for Sarshrala's hut.
Interesting. Well, he has enough bombs to do everything south side. You can clear Mini Moldorm Cave, how it's called, with just 5 bombs. 6 for safety.
Yeah, but the mini Moldorms are a little bit of a pain with just bombs, at least in my opinion.
It's not the easiest thing to do, but 13 bombs is safe for that. But I guess
Certainly.
Crrool will go for Eastern Palace check, because there are easy items to get in there.
He
Blue
got the
boomerang.
boomerang.
And a heart piece. On the other hand, Xitaczz is heading south for the dam. He is nearly there. This area, the flooded area, you can get 2 items, one inside, one outside of them. And Xitaczz is checking the outside item first. People have different opinions what to do first. I prefer to do the inside item first because there is a small chance it's boots and the rest is faster. But that is just what I like to do. Heart piece outside, yeah, Xitaczz not going for that.
Yeah, and Crrool just enters Eastern Palace right
And
now.
bombs inside, so 5 bombs. This is exactly the amount of bombs Xitaczz needs to clear Mini Moldorm. Oh, he gets the heart piece.
Oh, he actually got it. Okay.
I can't blame him on 4 hearts. It's
Yeah,
early on you
certainly.
want some hearts to help yourself or a mail upgrade. Big key,
Big key first chest. So it could be that we are out of Eastern Palace relatively quickly, as the remaining
Lamp
3
on
items.
Desert Ledge.
Oh, interesting.
So with the Titansmiths and the flute and the mirror or the book, you can enter Desert Palace and get that lamp.
Yeah, and that also means that actually the book cannot be behind
And
the...
Power glove for Crrool. He now can lift stuff. He has his way up to Death Mountain, but it will not be required before Desert, because the logic will require you to get lamp before doing dark rooms. This is glitchless, open mode. This means you don't have to do dark rooms, bomb jumps, fake flippers that are minor glitches that are allowed in the game, but never required on glitchless logic. And
he
this
didn't
3 style
got
fourth
it.
room. I get this that room so often. It's so
Yeah, I guess
annoying.
it kind of happens if you get some pixels too
And
far downwards there.
Xitaczz is heading towards Mini Moldorm Cave with just 4 bombs. It is possible, don't die to the crab, please. The crabs deal 2 damage right now.
Yeah, the crabs are really mighty enemies. Oh, and it is the burrito.
And Crrool is not going for the dark room, can't blame him.
Whoa.
Oh, Xitaczz has a bee, trying with a good bee, but sadly this is not going so well. Oh,
and Xitaczz died there.
yeah, this can happen on 4 hearts, bombs only. Mini Moldorm is not easy. Meanwhile, Crrool taking advantage of his power glove, going up to the back part of escape. while Zeta is going to the front of Escape. Interesting.
That will be really interesting because we will see like all of Escape in like 2 or 3 minutes total.
Yeah, Crrool is hoping for a weapon here, a sword, ice
Oh,
rod,
the ice rod.
and the
And the
cape.
magic cape.
Yeah, he was hoping for a lamp, for fire rod. Maybe it's not the best weapon right now. Hammer or a sword. That would be amazing. Or the hookshot. Hookshot at the uncle.
Talking about the hook shot, yeah.
Actually, my favorite item in this game. It stuns enemies, kills other enemies, depending on which enemy you have. And it is a great movement item before you have boots. So early hookshot, always nice.
Certainly, but in my opinion, flute is a lot more convenient to get around the world.
Yeah, it is. And you get the nice swag duck for it.
Oh yes.
And Crrool also getting his hookshot. I bet he's also very happy for that. Hookshot before Death Mountain is always a good thing.
Where Crrool actually could get to because he already has the power glove.
Yeah, but he would need to do a dark room, and dark rooms, as I said, not required in the logic, so he will not find the book or the Titansmiths or the flute up on Death Mountain. It is not possible.
So it technically has to be an overworld or escape right now.
Have
Yeah.
we time for a quick donation?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, we have 11 euros and 11 cent anonymous donation. Loving the Zelda one already. Good luck and have fun to both runners. This one goes to Lufia Iris Present, which Crrool might know. I enjoy a fair bit. Have a blast, beeps. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and here we saw the problem for Zeta. He can't kill the blue guard, which has the key. Crrool can, because he has the ice rod. Wait, no,
he
he
can't
only
with
has the
just
ice
that.
rod. He will realize soon.
But he has bombs.
No, he can with the ice rod. If you stun them, you can kill them with the ice rod. That's right.
Ah, right. Yeah.
And
that is
you
a
only
thing.
have to kill this one guard here and 2 guards later on.
Yeah, 1 green guard and 1 blue guard.
Yeah,
And also the ball and chain guard, which he cannot kill right now, though.
oh yes, he has the pots. You need 2 of the pots
Okay,
to kill
right,
him.
the pots.
It's the slowest strat, but it is still possible.
Well, it's the safety safe strat to do it like that.
Yeah, there are 3 ways to defeat
But
that guy. We will see. And
Crrool will actually be a little bit short on magic for.
well, he's going for bombs.
He's
He
bombing.
realized
okay. He saw that this is not an option right now.
It
He
is-
has 1 more shot for the ice rod there.
kind of something we expect from Crrool at this point. And another bottle with green goo, refilling magic. Yeah, Zeta meanwhile bought some more bombs, heading over back to Mini Moldorm. He can kill Mini Moldoms with the hookshot, which is really nice.
Yeah,
And
makes it easy as well.
He can actually go ahead and check Hobo. Both have the flippers. It can be, the useful item can be there. It could be at Ice Rod Cave, which would also be very funny.
Yeah, because usually there is just nothing.
And here we see the strat from Crrool taking both pots.
Oh, the moon pearl for
Sir.
Crrool.
And the other glove in Mini Moldorm Cave. We have Titansmiths. Well,
No,
none of the
not
runners,
yet.
none of the runners has, but we know where both upgrades are.
Was there something else in
Ether.
Ether?
I saw Ether.
Okay, thanks.
I guess if we missed something, chat will correct us. But Ether and the glove upgrade.
And the mighty single green rupee.
Yes, of course. Always nice when the game decides, hey, you don't have enough money. Here, take a single rupee. It is one of the worst items to get.
How many are there exactly?
2 single green rupees, 300 drops. I don't know how many 100 drops, and a lot of red rupees. A whole lot of them. So, Ice Rod Cave on Zeta's side. This takes a long time to get to, but it can be worth it. Nope, 5 rupees.
As usual, it is not worth it to get there. And he doesn't opt to go to Hobo from there.
Yeah, he might go to Hobo from down here with a save and quit. It's about the same time.
Okay, fair. And you can also check the island a little bit better from here.
Yeah, but for Crrool, it's actually interesting to get that glove upgrade he is
Yeah.
about to grab, because he has Titan Smiths and Moon Pearl. He can actually go to Dark World and check Dark World stuff.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Zeta on the way to Sahasrara here, so
And also Crrool could right now do Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain in one go.
yeah, as soon as he
Like-
gets the... There is a Titan Smiths on Crrool's side. And the Ether, of course. Yeah, and say bombs. But Crrool now knows he has access to Village of Outcast, the Dark World version of Kakariko. Meanwhile, different stuff from both players here. Zeta will go to escape. Crrool checking the island at Hobo. Finding a heart piece on the island. You have to mirror to that. Not sure if they will pick it up. Maybe if they are really low on health. It is not a bad thing to have a lot of health early on. Because Dark World, you will take a lot of damage from all the enemies.
And the mirror on Crrool's side
Ooh.
from the free spirit living under the bridge.
Ice Rod and Magic Cape for Zeta here.
Right.
So let's see if he goes back down escape. No, not yet.
So I guess that Crrool right now will opt and go for the Village of Outcasts. Or perhaps Death Mountain. Both options are really viable right now. I would like to see Dark World though, so that we
Yeah.
actually know which crystals are where.
Yeah, we will get to know that really soon.
Yes, we will.
And Zeta is going for Zora, which actually is not a bad play in the new logic, because they added 2 more chests in this area. And we have 5 Admire, 6, I didn't see that, and Thieves Town is, I think, the last pendant.
I didn't see the last pendant, but yeah, Meyer and Skullwoods are 5 and 6.
So the last pendant is Thieves Town. Interesting.
Another heart container for Crrool at the chess game.
Yes, and Zeta is checking the new items. I actually, I have to point this out. I love how Kirby is wearing boots.
The boots!
And the
What are
shield.
those?
I love how Kirby looks while swimming.
Yeah, it looks so freaking cute.
Yeah, the entire sprite. Many of the sprites have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, sadly, neither of us has the voice needed for one of the memes in this. It's gotta be Kane on Crrool's side.
Yeah, or what are those? For the boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Zora with the heart piece.
a little bit of love from Sora.
And the ledge item there at Zora, which you also check on the way, was just rupees, so no from Zeta to that. He has enough. You need 500 for Zora, you need 110 to get into Palace of Darkness, and a few for Village of Outcasts. It's not that much.
Yeah, and Crrool at the digging game.
Yeah, they changed that up a bit. It was 15 digs always. Now it is a random number of digs from 1 to, I think it is 30 or 32, something like that. It is a limited number. But yeah, it is randomized for each seed. So Zeta will have exactly the same amount of digs to find his item. It is fair. They removed the RNG for races, but kept it random between seeds.
Yeah, and I guess Crrool is going for a Ledge Cave right now.
Ledge Cave, a haunted Grove the tree boy there, while Zeta is on his way to grab his Moon Pearl.
Another bomb upgrade there. A lot of bomb upgrades here. I don't
Yeah.
know, is this a Dark Magician
Well,
seed?
You could say it's kind of an explosive seed.
No, yes.
Sorry for that.
The bad puns are starting. Hooray! And a little bit of love from the tree boy.
And that was kind of lucky for Zeta there. He tried to stun the guard, but it didn't work. He placed the bomb, the guard was running around, and he actually managed to hit him back into the explosion with the boomerang.
And Crrool coming up to the Dark World Hype Cave.
Yeah, will it be a hype or a mud cave? I'm not sure. I say it's not so hype. That's my bet.
Well, there is still a lot open to find, so... Well, first is just 20 bucks. 100 bucks. A little bit of arrow upgrade, some more bucks, and a little bit of love.
Yeah,
So
it
was
wasn't
a mad
hype.
cave.
That isn't hype. On the other hand, Zeta will be pretty happy to see that Moon Pearl.
Oh yes, he will.
It means that you actually can go to Dark World and
He
do a
cannot
lot of stuff.
yet,
Yeah,
though.
he can't, not right now, but you can generally go there and do a lot of stuff. So the big troll for this seat seems to be the sword. And I have to say, I like that. I like to play seats where you get a very late sword upgrade, or first sword, because it requires you to think outside of the box, use your items in different ways, get ice rod, boomerang, hood shot, hammer to the fullest extent. Maybe we will see boss kills with the Cane of Sumaria, which is possible for some of them. It's always nice to see those threats. And Crrool not heading to Thieves Town, most likely because it's a pendant, while Zeta gets his mirror. He's deciding to check the overworld stuff, starting with the often forgotten Bumper Cave. And on Bumper Cave Ledge, there is nothing.
Yeah, only another red rupee.
The problem could be this logic heavily favors dungeons over overworld. So it is very likely that the stuff they are still missing is in dungeons. And they actually have access to a few of them right now. We will see.
Exactly, but they cannot really full clear one of them right now.
Yeah, but generally, if you can go to a dungeon in this logic, you should do it. Even if you can't full clear it, check the dungeons. We will see it on Zeta's side here with Eastern Palace Gamble. While Crrool gets nothing on the Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, and he actually cannot check Graveyard because he doesn't have the boots yet.
Yeah, you need the boots for that. You don't actually need the Titan's mitts for it, because with Mirror, you can go here.
But he forgets that he doesn't have the boots right now.
Yeah, he will realize right
yeah,
now.
he realized real quick.
You can actually, on Zeta's end, this is really clutch. Half heart here, one more hit and it is back to the entrance of the dungeon. Meanwhile, Crrool is heading over to Catfish, which I really like. This is the better route if you can do this. It is really good to go to Catfish and check Zora in one go. All of them are really far out of the way. There is nothing useful close to it. So if you can do both at once, it will save time. And there is a Titan's Mitts for Zeta. So
Yeah.
Dark World access also for him.
And also getting like this to Catfish gives you 5 items, which is not a bad bet.
Yeah, and one of the items will be the boots.
Yeah, that is only 20 bucks from the Catfish. Which could hurt Xitaczz later on if he has to go there just for that item, when he is looking for something. And the boots on Crrool's side, and also the shield that we already saw.
Yeah, and I guess Crrool is not too happy about that one. I mean, he just tried to check King's Tomb and, well, he had no boots for it. And the seed decides to give him boots right after that one.
Yes. But well, you are relatively fast at King's
So-
Tomb, so...
Yes, Crrool, we saw him dash here and now he is swimming because swimming is the fastest option here. The shallow water, as well as the taller grass, will make you move slower. So if you can, try to swim. Bugnet on Xitacz's end, that is a good safety item. If you have bottles, you can catch yourself a fairy, which will heal you for, I think it's 8 hearts if you die with one in a bottle.
I'm not sure about that right now, to be honest.
It heals you for a good amount of health.
But yeah, you also can defeat Aghanim now. You could
Yeah.
actually do Aga 1 if you wanted to.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that. They have
Yes.
the full access to the south side of Hyrule in the Dark World, and you only do Aghanim for the access.
That's fair. And Crrool just checked the grave, which was just another piece of heart.
Yeah, meanwhile, Xitaczz is starting his Dark World, and let's hope he remembers that C-shaped house exists. Yes, he does. This can hurt. You can easily forget this place, and in this case, we have the Cane of Sumaria here, which is a required item for 2 of the crystal dungeons, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. Yeah, the confirmation Red Pendant at Thieves Town.
Yeah, and Crrool in the meantime got his bug catching net as well.
Yeah, let's see if Crrool actually goes for Thieves Town now.
It seems like he will go for that.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. In Thieves Town you have 4 chests with good items, and you can check 4 chests really quick in here, of which 1 has a big key and the other 3 can actually be helpful items. Good items, to explain this, we call them good items if they are not small keys, big keys, map or compass. It doesn't mean they are actually useful. Rupees, heart containers are also included in the good item pool.
Yeah, we got a small key and a big key on Crrool's side, or well, on both sides.
Yeah, I like the Thieves Town right now, and the sink here in Thieves Town, really nice. As mentioned, there are 4 chests in here you can grab fairly quick. With boots, it is really quick, clear. Yeah, and there the Bomberman sprite. This is what the Super Bunny of the Frog looks like. So Link turns into a bunny, the Super Bunny sprite turns into a naked bunny, and for some reason the frog turns into Bomberman.
We got the flute.
On both sides. And both are heading out, and it is a perfect place to find flute. You just have to mirror right here, switch to your flute, and play the song for Swag Duck. So here we saw Swag Duck for Crrool. He's heading over to desert right now. This is the perfect play. He can check the Misery Mire area here for 3 items, can check which medallion is needed for Misery Mire, It is Quake. They already have Quake. They can enter Misery Mire. Yeah. And in here, the Mire shed 2 chests for a red rupee and a heart piece. They can use the mirror to get up on the ledge, which will give them the lamp. And they can go to Checkerboard Cave on the top right corner here, where Crrool is right now. It is good to check all the places at once. Though they actually would love to have a better weapon to fight Lanmolas, the boss of Desert Palace. They can full clear the entire dungeon. So I'm pretty sure they will at least look for the items in here. It is a crystal dungeon. And we have the lamp on Crrool's side. And the first visit to Desert. You want to enter Desert from this side if possible. If you have the mirror, perfect. You just check the items in here. As soon as you saw the items, first one is a heart. And lamp on Xitacz's side. 2 good items in here. After you found both of them and the big key, it is time to just mirror out, go back to the entrance, which leads you to the later part of the dungeon. Small key, so they have to go to the right side of Desert to get the big key, and maybe they have to go to the big chest to check if there's the second item. Xitaczz having a bit of a problem here with the glitch on the torch. You can actually just dash into the torch to free that item.
So yeah, sorry that I have to step out real quick. Did I miss something?
The lamp
The lamp.
on both
For
sides.
both, okay.
Yeah, Crrool did not... well, he found the second item, but it's not good. So he knows the other items in the big chest and with land molars. Has to be something like map and compass. So his way will lead up to Death Mountain, and with the lamp he will actually go ahead and save the old man.
Finally.
Yes, the poor old guy. For some reason, he's just hanging out there in the dark cave. No idea how he got in there. He can't see anything, but he's just there. And as we save him, he's so grateful, he will give us a gift for that.
Most likely a little bit of love.
Yeah,
Or some rupees.
let's see. And the cabbages taking
Yes, I was
Crrool.
right.
But on the other hand, what you're doing this for is not only does it... Oh, Crrool with another minor glitch. It is called spin speed. You have 2 ways to activate it. Either by dashing and using the hookshot on the exact same frame while climbing a ladder, or charging a spin, freeing that spin, and pressing sprint at the exact frame after you release the spin. The second one is much faster. The first one is just press 2 buttons at the same time. That is actually decently easy to do.
Yes. I mean, it's mainly like item dashing.
Yes, it is another form of the item dash.
Yeah, and we got the magic powder on Crrool's side.
Yeah, and Xitaczz is freeing the old man, which will give him the little bit of love and the advantage of having a save and quit point up on Death Mountain. So you don't have to flute there anymore. If you like to, you can just save and quit from the game and select his cave as a starting point. On top of Spectacle Rock here, this area on top of Death Mountain, we see a bottle with a blue potion, and I'm pretty sure both of them will grab that. Blue potion is actually something really good to find. It is a full health and magic refill.
Yes. And there you saw Fairy. I don't know how high the chances are, but The top, bottom, left and right
Can-
brushes there can have either hordes or fairies.
And Zeta trying for the hook speed, and he's heading over to the east side first, which I totally can approve of. This is a good play. There are a lot more items. You can always save and quit back to the old guy. If you die, you just go back to the old guy. It is, in general, really good play.
Yeah, and how many items are there again?
Um,
Like 13 if I remember correctly, with Crrool together, which both can clear out right
Oh,
now.
yes, they can. But right now they have 7 items in here. 2 down here and 5 on top. Sadly,
Right.
only money at the bottom part here. And I am curious if one of them will go for Tower of Hera. It's a pendant dungeon, but it is the green pendant. So this means 2 good items from the tower itself and another bonus item from Sahasrara.
So we got a little bit of flaw.
Or however he is called, the seed, because his name actually is randomized too.
Oh, we got the silvers.
So, for the silver arrows, it is worth to come here. This will help them out a lot.
Yeah.
It
and
helps to quick kill bosses. It speeds up the final Ganon fight a whole lot.
nice bump jump that we saw on Crrool's side to get
Yeah.
over.
Without a sword, that one is actually decently hard, and Zeta is not trying for to do it at all. I can't blame him. It is maybe the hardest bomb jump in the game if you don't have a sword.
Okay, the floating island item is just $5 if I saw it the right way around.
Yeah, and while Crrool is going the top route to check Spiral Cave over here, Zeta is checking Super Bunny Cave, as it is called. There are 2 items in here, and it leads you up on to the top of Dark Death Mountain, where you can enter Hookshot Cave.
It's just bombs in Spiral Cave for Crrool.
Yeah. So we know it is not worth to go there, but Zeta will most likely go there. You don't want to forget a single location. It can end very badly.
More bombs and a little bit of love for Sita here.
And like the most runners have forgot to check a place or 2 over time.
Okay, let's see what Hookshot Cave actually has in store for Sita here. More bombs! Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we have Gamer Cal in chat pointing out he was asked to find a seed with available silver arrows. So he did exactly that. But he also pointed out that there might be a troll or 2 in this seed. So currently, it seems to be the sword.
Not only the sword, I mean we got one of the lift upgrades in Eastern Palace. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, but it was easy to reach.
Yeah. Okay, and Crrool is also getting into Hookshot Cave, but we already know that there is nothing. That was Quake, if I saw it the right way around, for getting into T-Rock. And we have some little mic issues, so I am commentating on my own right now. But yeah, there is not much new that we didn't see up to this point. Perhaps will Crrool go for Spy Cave or for Hera actually? We don't have a hammer or a sword, so Hera might not be the best option in my opinion. But yeah, he is heading into Hera.
And I'm back here. Yeah, GamerCal just said it. He was never asked to make it a jet seat. This is what we refer to with very fast seats. Yeah, it is more interesting to watch somewhat trolly seat that isn't too bad.
Yeah, and we will see the so-called resident sleeper room on Crrool's side right now.
Yeah, it is actually a really, really good room if you need to take a bathroom break or you feel like getting some food, make some tea.
Oh no,
Oh, this is really bad.
he got it exactly on the last like 2 or 3 frames there.
Now we will see Bloomerang strats to stay alive.
Hopefully stay alive. Oh
Nope.
no!
Not so good.
That is unfortunate.
Oh, and we just got confirmation. This seems to be the hardest of the 3 possible seats for them to play. This is good news for us.
This is really good news here. And
Not for them.
Xitaczz actually opted to get a ferry.
Yeah, it's something really good to do. Crrool trying again to get the safety. No.
Denied again.
So what Crrool is trying to do, he is trying to sit on top of the pegs there coming out of the ground when the switch is hit. That way he gets invincibility frames for the entire time he's sitting on them. He doesn't move, he can't die in that room.
No.
And the second death here, this is getting closer as Xitaczz is also heading up to Tower of Hera. They are now again nearly tied. That fast things can change in a randomizer. Yeah, first off, we check the room down here. And you see a heart there. This is good news, you pick that up. But you want to see a big key. Xitaczz will see the small key and he will not like it as well as Crrool didn't like it, because you have to go downstairs to grab yourself the big key, which is needed to clear the tower. Also surprised none of them bombed the chest. It's kind of therapeutic to just bomb that chest if it gives you a small key and you actually want the big key.
Well, it's not the chest's fault.
Yeah, and Xitaczz remembering you can make your life so much easier by just placing Volcano Samari, but he slipped too.
No. Okay, and
But,
finally the big key on Crrool's side.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to point out. You can free yourself, but you can actually go ahead, take a break here. You can place the red block in front of you and just sit behind it, because it will hit the tiles. Or at least you can do that. Yeah, Xitaczz getting something to drink here, exactly what you do in that room. It is your break in the run. Enjoy it. The other two you might have are much slower, much shorter, sorry. You have a break in cutscenes in Palace of Darkness and Desert, but really short cutscenes.
Well, and the swag duck.
Yeah, and the swag duck, but this is not a real break. We just are so happy to see the swag duck.
Of course.
We can't take a real break. And Crrool, will he show off the bomb jump?
No,
No.
he has both items.
Yes.
So
Can't blame him for that, but maybe... Oh no,
he cannot defeat Moldorm right now.
right.
That
You
is the
can't
problem.
defeat Moldorm without a sword or the hammer. On many other bosses, you actually have options. Yeah, the blue guys there, they don't take damage from the boomerang.
they
You can
don't-
kill them by... not really kill them, but you can push them into the hole. So Xitaczz will line himself up with a hole, or drop down the hole himself. Just say bye. So, Crrool heading over to desert.
But I would say resetting that room with falling down is not the worst option because you get the pots back to
Yes.
actually damage them.
Yes, the pots will instantly kill them if you hit them.
Yeah,
This
what
is
do
something
the
good.
pots damage-wise? I guess Tempered Sword?
I am actually not sure how much damage it is the
you
pots
need,
deal.
you
It's a
need
lot.
at least Tempered Sword to one-hit them, so I
Yeah.
guess it is Tempered Sword.
So, right now the options are very limited for both of them. Zeta deciding to mirror too, yes, that is the good choice. Crrool trying to see the last item in escape. There's still one left in the back part of escape. And Zeta deciding to go ahead and check. 5? No, 5 will not help. He will go to the village. Maybe we see parts of Skull Woods right now. They can enter Skull Woods and they can get all the chests that are early in that dungeon. It is not a bad play. There are 2 possible good items in there. No, more of Xitaczz maybe? Or some overworld stuff.
Looks
Let's
like
see.
overworld.
Yeah, he can get
Perhaps-
the frog.
Yeah, frog, Batcave.
It is actually not a bad idea heading down to digging game first. That is needed. If you have a companion, you can't do the digging game. That goes for Zelda, the frog,
The chest.
the chest.
And also the last item in Escape was just a little bit more of love, so
Yeah.
nothing really interesting or special there.
Yeah.
So
And they could actually check a spike cave up on Death Mountain. None of them did. They have the cape, and this is what the logic requires you to have to check that place.
that
need
or Cane of
fif-
Burner, yeah.
15 hearts, Cane of Burner, or the cape. The logic actually counts 15 hearts as enough to check that place. Oh no, they can't. They don't have hammer. I always forget that you need hammer to
Exactly, yeah.
enter that one.
So
It's like, oh
Crrool-
yeah, I have enough to go there. No.
Crrool actually trying to not die and getting Ice Cave as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zeta is heading towards Hype Cave, which isn't so hype this time around. And maybe he's gambling on Swamp. There's one chest you can grab in Swamp. It can be good. It could be the hammer in that one chest. You can't enter the rest of the dungeon without the hammer. And there were enough seats where hammer was in there. Yeah, it's interesting to see what options are left. That is actually true from GamerCal there. And there are quite a few options if they try to go for dungeons they can't full clear yet. Like get the other items in Xitaczz. Try to have a look on the items in Skull Woods.
Yeah.
Gamble on Swamp maybe. Do the first part of Palace of Darkness. It's a lot. They can actually enter Ice Palace, but not do anything there, so it's not worth going there.
Yeah, and Crrool is rescuing his frog friend there.
Yeah, the double frog. So even though they have the medallion for Misery Mire, that place can't be entered without a sword. You actually
Yes.
need the sword to enter the dungeon. You can't use medallions without a sword in the open or standard mode. This is only possible in swordless. Crrool remembering there is this guy, and this guy has the best name in the entire game. He's actually called the Mad Batter.
Oh yes, right.
And I have to admit, I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, so this name just makes me so happy.
So let's see if actually the dwarves are swordsmiths this time, which would be really hype because I want to see a sword slowly but surely here.
Maybe the hammer. Maybe they have one left.
Probably.
Oh,
And
shield.
it's a shield upgrade.
So
Wow.
this time it makes sense what they have. They actually have something that they could produce and not something like, oh, here, have a heart piece. Or here, let's go with some rupees.
Or the fire rods.
Yes. The mirror. Hey, we are hammering on something. Here, have it. It's a mirror. What? Yeah, and they actually need to mirror here because they have no other way to get to the Mad Batter. You need mirror or hammer to reach him. In this case, it's mirror. Personally, I would have done it a little bit differently. I would have dropped the dwarf off, got myself the chest and took it with me to the Mad Batter, which is possible. Save some time if you want to check the long route for the chest. Which isn't so long for them. They check the south side stuff. They could just flute over to swamp area and turn it in.
Yes. I guess Crrool is going to check the pyramid item.
Yes, this is the other reason Aghanim is required in some seeds. You get access to this part of the Dark World by defeating him. And sometimes, not that often anymore, you find something really good on the pyramid ledge here. In earlier logic seeds, the item would be something good pretty much every
We have the hammer!
We have the hammer there.
Nice!
Now we have a weapon and they can actually go ahead and defeat most of the bosses with it. The hammer deals tempered sword damage and it is a very interesting weapon to use. You see, or you saw on Crrool's side, if he uses the hammer to the left or right, it extends further as up and down. And that sprite is actually the hitbox, so attacking up and down is much more difficult.
So, in my opinion, right now the play would be to go into Swamp Palace because you can actually full clear that.
Yes, and you have hookshot, but also Palace of Darkness isn't necessarily a bad choice. You're in the area, you can have a look. It
You can
might
also get stuck after the first chest if you're
it is
really unlucky.
possible to find the big key right now, and that would be okay. At least I have the big key.
Well,
But
okay.
it is
fair.
possible that they find the needed small keys to get to the later part of this dungeon and actually get the items there.
Or you're really lucky and find the bow in the first chest.
Oh, no, that is not possible. The first chest is always a key.
Okay,
But it's not sure if it is the small or big key.
okay.
At least I never saw something else there. There are a few chests in the game that actually have to be keys. Like the very first chest in Swamp Palace is not randomized. It's always a key because it's in front of a key door, and if it wouldn't be a key, you couldn't go into the dungeon.
Yes.
That is not what the developer intended there. And Crrool is going for the bomb here, which will not help him.
No, he's going to get the other one first.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have
He has to
get a
bomb it
key.
again.
Yeah, and you have to get a key.
Yes.
And there's the big key.
Oh.
That's not too bad. There's still one chest
Yeah,
they
one
can
chest
check.
here to the right, down.
If this is a small key, it's still going on, and the big chest is actually something they could reach. It is a small key,
Nice.
so Palace of Darkness adventures
Will
will go on.
It'll just take forever to actually clear
Oh,
this out.
the one in pot can actually be anything. Okay,
I thought so.
I
guess
never
I've
saw something else
seen
there.
Items being in there.
I know Misery Meyer has a chest that can only be a key, small or big. Well, or could in audio logics. They change it at times.
I'm sure about two. The one in Swamp Palace you actually mentioned, and also the one in the room in Skullwoods where you can only get out if you actually have a key, so
If
that
you
you
would,
don't soft lock there.
Lock the dungeon, key lock the dungeon. You will always find a key, so this isn't happening. It is nice to have. And two small keys here.
So he can get through all of this part of pod right now. And that is also everything he can clear right now.
4 more chests here. One is down here for the first
and he
sword.
got the sword!
We finally have a sword. We can't see the time right now, but it is quite some time into the seed. 55 minutes into the seed, we find a sword. That is quite something.
I guess Crrool was never that hyped about actually finding a
And
sword.
another bottle with blue goo. This means all 4 bottles are found.
Yes.
Pretty nice for safety on this seed. You have the powder to turn anti-fairies into fairies, you have the bug net to catch them, and you have the bottles to store them. On safety, this seed is decent. And the compass.
Oh.
But with a sword, we
have
have a lot of change
yes,
here.
So
It opened.
Crrool can actually do something now.
Yes, it opened Misery Mire for him. It possibly opened Total Rock just to enter this one, not to clear it. He has the Cane of Samaria, so he could go in there and gamble for items, which is something that's only viable if you get really lucky.
Yeah, T-Rock, if I have it right on my tracker, was actually Wavy Coin as well, so Quake.
And right now, Crrool is doing the pretty smart thing, heading towards Swamp. He has a sword, so he can do a lot of stuff there. He can full clear the entire palace to get the first crystal of the seed at 55 far after 50 minutes.
That will be over an hour if he actually full clears the dungeon, yeah.
Yes, the difference between a go mode and a full clear swamp is a lot.
Decent.
Depending on your skill level, but in general it's something like at least 4 or 5 minutes. It is a dungeon you actually like to go mode if possible. So I guess we will see the sword spin strats on Crrool's side there, while Zeta is entering the same palace, and he might go for hookshot strats.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I would actually try to go with the hookshot there.
Yeah, no, you can't hammer dash without a sword. We didn't point that out. You can perform a glitch from the Japanese version of the game. We are running on a Japanese version base game, where you item dash. This means you dash and use the item on the exact same frame. For the hammer, for example, you can dash through multiple packs and knock them down. But this only works if you have a sword. Without the sword, you will just bonk off of the packs. It is like, no item dash for you today, sorry. Yeah, finding not a very good item at the beginning. This is the one chest where you could find hammer in some seeds, but it's a huge gamble, and if it's not there, you have to return to this place later on. Can lose a lot of time.
And we actually see Crrool getting that key first.
Yes, it is a smart play, depending, no matter if he full clears or not full clears, because you can pull some faster strats for this dungeon with it.
Yeah.
It is actually faster to unlock the top door and turn down the packs, get the key, head back into the room.
And we got a second
The second sword in Swamp Palace. Right here, Master Sword for Crrool. For Zeta it will be Fighter Sword. And Crrool deciding, no, I have seen enough of this place. I will head straight to the boss. I'm going for Argus.
Yeah, and the interesting question.
Sure.
Yes.
We have a €1 donation from the Warrior of Light saying, I was going to make a sword pun, but they're slightly too edgy for me. Thank you for your generous donation.
So yeah, the interesting question actually is if Crrool will clear the rest afterwards, or if he will just get the heck out of here and yeah, get to the next place. He can actually do something
And
in.
Xitaczz is taking the safety, grabbing that key down there first. If you flood that room, which can happen on accident, you have to reset the dungeon.
Yeah, you have to reset the dungeon. You actually have to get out of the dungeon, transition the screen to somewhere, and get back to the screen where it is.
Yeah.
Drain the whole thing again, and do everything again. You already saw
Yes.
these guys doing in here.
And Crrool is getting a heart there, a full heart, which is nice safety on green tunic. Basically, you have 3 different tunics. Each one is it's a progressive item to protect you, each one better than the former. Green magic is just take normal damage. After that comes blue, and after that red. And you hope for red tunic because it will help a lot.
Yeah, and we are in the Argus boss fight on Crrool's side. With the Master Sword, the Puff boss actually take 2 sword slashes, which is a little bit of labor in this boss fight, as there are a lot of these Puff balls you have to defeat.
Yeah, and there is another strat they could pull off right now. They have the hammer, so you could actually menu a lot. Hookshot 1, or if you know how to do it, hookshot 2 of the puffs. Get your hammer out and just hammer them. They will die in 1 hit.
Yeah, but
Same here for Argus, but with the spins, Crrool actually deals the same damage as the hammer does to him. So it is smarter to do the spin strats if you can. Blue Kirby right now.
Yay! I want to see Red Kirby after this, soon.
And the big
The
key.
key. Well, it had to be the big key.
Yeah,
We saw the rest.
It is the last chest.
But yeah, what?
And here is the item dash on Xitacz's
Yay.
side. Crrool is going back into the dungeon.
Okay, he will clear the rest.
He will
then.
full clear. They are missing so many items, and there are still 2 good items in here if I didn't miscount it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to
the,
be.
The big chest should also have an item.
And Xitaczz will go ahead and check the big chest right now. We will see if it's actually something useful. Like, they are missing fire rod, they are missing bow, maybe a medallion, a bomb upgrade, sure. You're
Sure.
always missing that one. I'm pretty sure they are both not salty to see this one. Yeah.
It's not like they can already carry
Okay.
like 30 bombs.
Thanks, Xitaczz. Looked like Xitaczz was about to place a red block from the Cane of Somaria there. This isn't working in this room. It works in different other dungeons where you can push down a switch like that. But this specific point, it is too far away. If you push the block there, you dash to the right. As soon as you're on the same height as the door, the cane block will disappear, which isn't fun.
Exactly, yeah.
And Crrool remembers, okay. He nearly forgot to turn back up or to hit the switch again. If you forget that, you will have a really sad time. You reach the end part and you realize I have to go all the way back because I can't get 1 chest. In this case, the big key.
Well, which would not be that much of a letdown, as we know that it is
Yeah.
only a bomb upgrade.
We know that, but Crrool thinks it might as well be Fire Rod, one of the other 2 medallions,
One.
which,
We are only missing bombs right
one.
now.
but still bombos could be required for Turtle Rock.
Nope, there is Quake.
Quake? We saw that? I didn't. saw
Xitaczz actually checked it. real
Okay,
quick.
nice.
And what I saw was Quake. I'm not 100%
But
sure.
I'm not sure.
Oh, we see the hammer strats on
And
Xitaczz
the
side.
double puff.
Nice.
The double puffs are...
No.
Yeah, it can happen. I usually go for single puffs with a decently fast menu, and Zelda has a really good menu in here. This is how it should look like if you want to menu a lot. That is actually quite impressive. Yeah, taking some damage. As I said, it can happen. It is not the best to happen to you, but I like what I'm seeing there. And also hitting the up and down strikes with the hammer. They are actually hard to pull off. You will see them use a different strat on the Helmosaur King fight in Palace of Darkness. They will get their swords out because having your sword out and attacking Helmosaur with the hammer extends the hammer hitbox. It makes it a lot easier to break that mask.
That, and you actually cannot get hit by Helmosaur like that. Because you will just be repelled by his mask or its mask.
Yeah, Zelda is right now thinking what to do here. Spin strats? Hammer strats? Or going for the ice rod? The ice rod, I don't know if it can damage Argus. The fire rod
I don't
can.
know that either.
If it can, it's much harder to hit enemies. Oh!
No! He has a fairy though. He has
Yeah.
a fairy.
He has a safety fairy, but still, it's sad. And the worst part, you can get hit on the way up. If
Yes.
he jumps up after getting hit by you, this actually deals damage. And you can die to that without a fairy. That is fun.
Yeah, but it can only happen if you really are standing above the sprite of Argus.
Nice fighter sword fight on Argus here by Zelda.
That is actually not easy to pull off.
Not at all. If you played the game as a kid or play it vanilla, you will have a master sword at that point.
At least, if not a tempered.
Yes. You can actually get the tempered sword before if you like.
You can also get the butter sword if you like.
Yes.
And on Crrool's side, we actually see the Lemolas fights for getting the crystalline Desert Palace.
And
But I
Zelda
don't-
is thinking, and he's heading over to Pot.
I actually don't know why he is not using the Ice Rod there, because the Ice Rod is also damaging.
Or the nice, fun kill with the Cane of Sumaria.
Right, that also exists.
Well, it is kind of more swag strat. It's not that good in for time, but it actually helps. You
I mean-
can kill the land molars with blocks from the Cane of Samaria, and it is fairly easy. You just put the block right on top of the hole they are producing. They will damage themselves. Zelda is on his way to Palace of Darkness with Kiki here, the monkey. And Kiki takes 10 rupees to follow you and 100 to open the palace. If you get hit on the other way and or mirror, Kiki will not like that and will actually leave you.
And you have to pay these 10 rupees again.
Yeah, and it's really fun to run a team race of this and hear your teammate go, "Oh no, I just mirrored. Goddamn Kiki, please come back." So Crrool is heading up to Skullwoods.
But why exactly is he doing that? I personally would finish Pod right now.
They don't have the bow.
Oh, shoot, right.
So they are still missing the most important item to finish this dungeon, because there are 2 rooms you can only finish with the bow. And with the silver arrows, the fight with Helmosaur King at the end is super easy. It is a
Yes.
1-hit If you have Butter Sword, you don't switch. It's 2 hits versus 1 hit. Yeah, the item menu takes longer than the actual kill. And Crrool with a big key in Swamp and a small key here. He is not heading to the bottom right part of this dungeon, because there can only be a small key in there. Nothing else. And
He is actually going for the vanilla way to get to the big chest.
yeah, kind of.
Kind of, yes.
It makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to do bomb jump here. You don't have to deal with a giant hole in the ground that is somewhat just decoration. A bomb upgrade, not so good. You can actually just walk right along the wall and ignore the hole in the ground.
Exactly, yeah.
It is pretty funny. There are quite a few holes like that where you can just ignore them.
And as we already have the Cane of Samaria, we can actually get through this room real quick. Otherwise, you would have to get one of the right statue onto that.
And the bow, finally. This allows Crrool to do a lot of stuff. This opens
Yeah,
up Eastern Palace completely, which is a pendant. It opens the possibility for Palace of Darkness. It allows for the Ganon kill with silver arrows. Will speed up the 2 of the boss fights you can have in Ganon's Tower. It allows for a really fast Vitreous fight here in Misery Mire. And we will see most likely that from Crrool. So the question is, will we see a 0 cycle Vitreous or not? You can kill the boss before he shoots at you 1 time. That is only possible with silver arrows. It is nearly possible with Cape and Butter Sword, but you ignore the boss with that one. It's pretty much okay. I'm doing whatever. So, actually you don't need the hookshot here in Misery Mire. Crrool showing it off. This is developer intended movement. It's called bonking. With boots, dash into a wall, you get thrown back. And there is one room in the game you can only reach with the bonk. So the developers actually intended you to use that feature of the game. And that way it is not considered a glitch at all. Meanwhile, Xitaczz is going for a bomb jump here, and nice, he gets it.
First try?
Not first try, but he got it.
And the room you meant with bonking, I guess that is the safety room in
Ganon
Ganon's
Tower.
Yeah.
Correct. That one can only be reached with a bonk. Let's see, let's hope Xitaczz is heading for the back part of the dungeon. You can forget about it, but no, he is going for it. That is good. You would lose him a lot of time.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Crrool is looking for the items in here and the big key. They are still missing ice rod, no, fire rod. They have ice rod, and I guess that is it. Yeah, they
we need
Xitaczz
fire rods.
Xitaczz will need another sword upgrade, but he will get one. Yeah, and there you saw below that skull there is a bunny beam. If you powder them before they start to move, they actually turn into fairies. There is one in Ganon Tower later on. You don't want to powder if you can prevent it. If you have to, it is bad news. And there is the big key in Misery Mire, but Crrool is still looking for the items in here. So he is
Yes.
heading the long way.
Yeah, he is actually making his way to
Finally taking his break.
the... yeah, he is taking the way to the vanilla big key chest. And he actually has to prepare these rooms with only having the lamp.
Yeah. With the fire rod, you can perform a Japanese glitch, the Japanese version glitch here, where you can fire items like the fire rod and the hookshot through blocks you are moving at the exact time. And here we see the cutscene for Crrool. He finally has his break after not getting the one in Tower of Hera. Sadly, this one isn't as long. The lamps go out and torches go out, and the cutscene is about to end. Yeah.
Yes. And interesting, Xitaczz is right now going into pods, so we have some different routes right now. And he should soon enough get his second sword upgrade.
Yeah, but first he will check the right side here in the basement, which can have items, but most times has a lot of keys, which you actually need. So this is one of the rooms where you absolutely need the bow. You can kill the green mimics, they are called, with the sword if you like. But you need the bow for the red ones. And there are a few rooms in the game where you actually need the bow for those guys. 2 in Ganon Tower, 2 in here. Then there are not mimics, but as bad red statues, I think they are supposed. I
Aren't
forgot
these
the
mini Ormos.
I forgot the name. They open their eye and move around, and the red ones you can also just kill with a bow. It is really bad if you don't have the bow.
Oh, and we got the shovel on Crrool's side in the big chest in Misery Mire.
I dig that location.
Oh yes. Okay,
Yeah, the shovel, clearly the most important item in the entire randomizer.
yeah, and I mean, of course you dig that as a Shovel Knight runner.
Yeah, I kind of have to. And Zeta using the hookshot there for the kill, but it also gives you invincibility frames. We didn't talk about that. If you fire the hookshot before hitting a wall or something else, you actually will not get damaged while the hookshot is extended. This is pretty nice, and we might see that in the Ganon fight.
Well, or in T-Rock.
Yeah, in T-Rock there are also useful situations for that strat. And the sword upgrade on Zeta here, he also has Master Sword now. He can go for Ganon kill now. And yes, you need the Master Sword to actually damage Ganon, because he can only be damaged with Tempered Sword or Butter Sword damage. So spin attacks with the Master Sword are the absolute minimum to damage him.
Well, or you can just use the hammer.
Only in Swordless.
Is that only in
Yes,
Swordless?
only in Swordless.
Okay.
As you don't have a sword, they added the option for the hammer to damage Ganon.
I thought that actually works in...
Nope. You can hammer him all you like. It will not work.
Okay, and we get into the Witcher's fight on Crrool's
Yeah,
side.
he has the silver arrows out and he is going for the zero cycle. Missing one of the eyeballs. Yes, this is a
This
one cycle.
Is the one side.
Yes.
Oh my
Missing one eyeball is enough to get the one cycle. You have to hit every single one.
Oh, wait for them to stop. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, and
You got it.
with the silver arrows, we prove that Vitreous is indeed the toughest normal boss in the game. He takes 2 silver arrows to kill. That is more than any other boss will take.
Exactly, yeah.
He is a real tank. This last phase isn't that dangerous. He's just jumping towards you. You can hit him. But
There
it takes a lot of damage.
is a boss that cannot even be damaged by the arrows, which is Mothula.
yes, but Mothula has the least amount of health of all bosses.
Okay, fair
It
enough.
just is a really, really tough room you have to fight Mothula in.
Okay, I guess Crrool is going into pod as well, so
But
we
yeah,
will have both of them.
it
in
is
the
a
same
smart thing to
dungeon
do.
again.
If you can clear a dungeon in the current logic of the randomizer, go for the dungeon. You will need to clear the crystal dungeons either way, so why not do it as fast as you can? And with the dungeon favoring of the logic, most times, I want to say about 90, maybe 85% of the time, really pays off to go for dungeons first.
So the big question is, will the last item that we need, the fire rod, actually be a troll and be like the green pendant item?
The green pendant item, one of the items in the how are they called? Medallion places.
Dungeons. Or the pedestal, we didn't have a check
Yes,
of that.
we don't know what pedestal is, and with the current knowledge of the seed, it could be the pedestal item. It could also be dropped by
Armor.
blind.
Yeah, and armor. Nah, we don't know about armors.
Yeah, we don't know about
we didn't
armor.
have
It
a check
could
of
be.
the last chest.
But it could be in a lot of places. Fire rod is a nasty thing to miss. Because items are actually somewhat bound to appear in certain places, like flute can't be in Misery Mire. You only reach with Misery Mire with a flute. Hammer can't be in Turtle Rock because you need the hammer to open up Turtle Rock. But the fire rod is only required to open up Skullwoods, the later part of the dungeon. It could be in Turtle Rock, in all of the
Nice quick kill
yes.
on
There we saw
Helmasaur King.
how to use the silver arrows on Helmasaur. Just fire him in the face one time and he dies. And gives you a
some
bomb
bombs.
upgrade! But also a crystal. It was a required dungeon. It's good for progression.
Also something you usually don't see when people speedrun this game. Bombs actually can damage the mask of Helmasaur King.
Yes, I did that as a child at times because I thought it was funny.
Same.
But I'm also kind of weird because I have problems to hit enemies to the left and right of me with the hammer, but like hit every single hit up and down, and everybody keeps telling me it's difficult the other way around. And we see kind of a switch in places here by Zelda and Crrool. Zelda now heading to Misery Mire. The problem with Misery Mire, it is a fairly long dungeon, and at the same time it only has 2 good items. But yeah, he's going there because he can do the quick clear of Desert and Misery Mire back to back, which is nice. This is something, if this is possible, go for it. Yeah, not the perfect setup for the key dash there. Zeta had to be lower for that. You can dash through the door, opening it with a key without bonking. But you have to set yourself up pretty much perfectly for that. It's not too bad, just go to the bottom of the room and dash up. But it is specific. Meanwhile, Crrool dealing with Helmasaur super well and nice.
Quick kill there.
We had no trolls by Helmasaur. He can move around quite a bit after you destroy the mask. But
Yes, and
Gladly
he
this
is
didn't
getting real fast when the mask is broken actually.
yes.
So, and we are at 4 crystals on Crrool's side already.
And GamerCal asking or saying Crrool is ahead on crystals right now. Yes, that is true. Crrool
Yeah,
is
Crrool
a
has
bit
4
ahead.
crystals and Xitaczz is just clearing up the 3rd one.
Yeah, but he's also going up for the
Back-to-back, Desert Palace and
Desert
Misery
Mire. So it is not much. Crrool is going ahead and checking the last item there, and
Yeah, I nearly forgot about that.
Zeta already did that. He had to go right side because he had no keys left.
Ah, makes sense. So I guess it is nothing special.
It is
Just
just
50
rupees.
bucks.
Which isn't too bad with the amount of money they have right now and not needing a lot of it. Maybe for 2-chested ferry? No, not possible for Fire Rod to be there. because Skull Woods is one of the required crystals. Yeah,
And Crrool here is going
so
for Eastern Palace
all
right
money. Yeah, it is an interesting gamble. All money that they have right now goes to the potion funds. So if they feel insecure about a situation, maybe before Ganon, they can go to the witch's hut and buy themselves potions.
now. Exactly. But I'm still in for a mode where you can actually buy Zelda back when you have like 2,000 rupees.
Yeah, and Crrool again getting those 3 skeletons there. It is still better than getting the full room of skeletons, it's faster. But in the perfect setup you just get 2 skeletons.
Yes.
We will see the right side of Eastern Palace here, the normal vanilla big key chest, and maybe we will see armors?
Depends on what it is.
Yeah,
in
if
the big
Crrool
key
finds
chest.
no item here, he most likely will go for armors. If it's not Fire Rod, I'm not sure if Crrool is thinking maybe it actually is Pedestal. If he's thinking that, we will see armors. And at this point, I think both runners might get a bit paranoid. It could be Pedestal.
I would certainly understand that. And he,
Oh, Tempered Sword there. That is nice.
And the strats were also really neat with
Yeah, with the
taking
cape.
the cape there.
The cape has the advantage it reduces lag and makes you invulnerable. On the other hand, the blue cane, Cane of Burner, uses way less magic. So if you want to be...
We actually got the golden guard glitch there for Crrool,
yeah.
which is just visual. They are usual green guards, but what is it? Where do you have to come from with the flute? I don't remember right now.
Yeah, it is pretty much a visual glitch that has no other effect. It is just turning one of the guards golden. It's nice to see it.
It was actually all of the 3
Yeah.
green guards.
It turns the green guards into golden guards. Not sure about the blue ones.
I guess they get turned brown, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They are affected.
And it is not as common as the anti-fairy Bob we will see later in this run. We have a glitched anti-fairy, maybe have it, and if we see it, it is called Bob.
Yes. And Crrool actually going for the hammer pack spot.
Yeah, he has to. He hasn't checked it yet. And you see on Crrool's end how he does the item dash. This is the frame perfect input. You just claw grip the controller and press both buttons at the same time with 2 fingers. And throw.
Or you grab a chicken.
Yeah. I mean, some of the runners are actually not going for the wall Kuko anymore because it can glitch the game in a way that it's really bad.
Really?
Can happen that you get stuck there with an invisible Kuko that will not let you go in there.
Interesting, I didn't know about that. But yeah, also picking up the purple lunchbox.
Yeah, the lunchbox, it's a nice trip. It can have something good. Can just be money or health. We will see about that. Yeah, it's just
20
money.
bucks.
Heart pieces and money actually are the most common outcome for any item spot because there are so many in the entire game. Meanwhile, Zeta is finishing off Misery Mire here. He's going for the big chest here, getting his shovel, and I have a moth in my ear.
Mothula attacks.
Yes, Count Mothula is here. Yeah.
Okay, and Crrool is going back into Thieves' Town. And I guess full clearing this one.
Well, it is not a bad thing to do, as there are a lot of good items in here, and it is a fast dungeon. It is a really fast dungeon. With Tempered Sword, the other parts of the early parts of the dungeon are fairly easy. The boss, it doesn't matter. The boss always takes 3 hits with the sword to the face for every head to get detached, and you need 3 heads. That way, it's always 9 hits, no matter if fighter sword or butter sword. Interesting boss. That
Can
way.
you actually damage Lion with the Cane of Somaria?
Yes, you can, and I love that strat. You just place a Cane of Somaria block right in the middle of the room, and he will just swing through it every time and pretty much damage himself, and you just watch him kill himself. After every head, you just place a new block right on top of his cloak.
Oh,
Half magic.
Half magic on Crrool's side here.
And I actually hope we might see a Cane of Somaria strat from one of the runners. It is not faster than the sword strats, but
Well,
it is much easier.
I didn't even know that that is a thing. I guess I have to do that at
If
some
you
point.
struggle with your blind fights, you should go for the Cane of Somaria strat if possible.
I usually don't struggle with it, but just for the fun.
Yeah, I usually happen to be here around 5 or 6 hearts into the rando.
that can
That
actually
is
be a struggle.
bit difficult. And on Xitacz's end, we will see the Cape Dash. This is very nice. If you have the better sword, it is faster, but he using the blue potion there, blue goo, to refill his magic and just sprint back and forth between all the eyeballs. And you see, there are only 2 of them left now. No, 3. But it is like nothing at all.
Wouldn't,
One more hit, but it doesn't matter. He has so much health left. 2 quick silver arrows. Xitaczz did that because he realized he had not enough arrows to quick kill the boss. And
but
it's pretty
wouldn't-
smart to
Wouldn't
do it.
get the whirl attack in there be more effective with the
No,
sword he has?
the
actually?
dash is faster.
Okay,
You get 2 dashes in the time you charge up 1 spin.
okay,
And you actually hit all of the eyeballs,
fair.
which is super good.
Okay, up to the blind fight on Crrool's side.
Yeah, I know Crrool has a really solid blind fights, so he will not go for the Cane of Somaria strats here, I think. Oh, that was unlucky. Hitting blind there and getting pushed back right into the attack. But with that health and blue mail, you can pretty much tank all that he has to offer.
And we got the Book of Modora out of this fight.
Which
Nice.
allows to check the pedestal and both of the medallion places, Bombos and Ether. One being at Desert, the other at near Tower of Hera. I do know my maps. I just mess them up at times.
Oh, and
Usually
Xitaczz-
doing my own runs.
Xitaczz back in the escape to get the last piece of heart there.
Yeah, but it's good that he remembered. We know it's not a good item, but for him, it is like, oh, I didn't check that. I should do it.
Certainly, yeah. Is he
And-
actually going to finish Hera now?
Zeta is going up to finish Hera, and Crrool is heading up here because
Probably.
he has the book. He will check
Yeah,
the medallion place.
But when he is here, I personally would just go to Trolldorm real quick.
Yeah,
And
I think he will do. But the interesting part, they changed the logic for the book, so you still need Master Sword or higher to get what's inside the medallion tablet there, but you can read what is inside with the book. It will actually give you a hint if you don't have a Master Sword or better yet.
Interesting.
So same as the pedestal. Here it would say something about money. I think it's different from the pedestal text, but I'm not sure. I never did the checks. I just
Okay.
know that it's possible.
Is he actually going for Spy Cave? He
Yes.
is.
Crrool is going for Spy Cave, while Zeta is thinking maybe Salmonella has something for me with the green pendant.
How did you call him?
Oh, it was in one seed that they actually had at the end the text Salmonella's Homecoming
Okay.
or Soul Shaker's Homecoming. Yeah, there are quite a few names.
and we got a
Butter
butter
Sword.
sword.
That is a nice convenient item there. It's not helping all that much if you already have Tempered Sword, but nonetheless, it is a damage upgrade.
Yeah, and the Ganon fight will be pretty free
Yeah,
at
he
the end
now
of the seed.
doesn't have to spin. So Zeta has to spin
Oh.
Ganon to deal damage. Crrool with a Tempered Sword had to deal damage, Butter Sword damage with the spins, and with the Butter Sword now, he just has to strike Ganon's face. But it only saves time on a very few occasions. One being Argus fight, the other being Helmasaur King fight. We saw both.
Okay, and see that there is actually...
Nice
what
spin
is he using?
spin
Nice
strats.
one, though.
Very nice, very solid spins here. Made it look much easier than it is.
First off, he was going for it with the hammer, and
Yes.
I was like, is he going with hammer or...
So Bombos with the fire
fire
rod.
rods.
Oh, this is
So-
go mode for Crrool.
Yeah, we actually achieved go mode on Crrool's side with that.
So go mode means Crrool is now good to go through the entire rest of the game without checking any more chests except for keys.
Yeah, also we have two really free dungeons for him that come up right now. We have
High House
Skullwoods,
Skullwoods.
which is only the last part that is left. Also, we have Ice Palace, which takes like 3.5 minutes with the bomb jump.
And
So-
we have Todorok with the Butter Sword. That is the other really big time difference.
Yeah.
Trinex with Butter Sword is really nice. It takes 3 hits ahead.
So, if everything goes all right, Crrool should be in G Tower in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. And as soon as Crrool will get his last crystal, we will start a fun game. But for now, I'm not sure how Crrool feels about this seed. It's a long seed so far. We are, how far are we in for go mode?
130.
1 hour 37 minutes right now, so it is a slower seed. Crrool might get the feeling that he is behind, which might lead to gambles. It is a very late go mode.
Not so much for open mode in my opinion. It is not early, sure.
For how
but
the items were placed, like they had the option to defeat blind the entire time since they first entered the Dark World.
yes.
So Crrool knows that. I'm pretty sure. That might actually lead to him being a bit nervous here. And Zeta is also going for the Thieves Town play here. This is really good for him. Meanwhile, Crrool with a super clean Morsula fight
Yeah,
here.
he wiped that spiky floor with the moth.
Morsula being a really annoying boss. Every time you hit him and he hits spikes, he will take no damage. Isn't that a great feature? And in the vanilla game, the developers kind of forgot to give Morsula damage scale for the Butter Sword. So if you happen to reach Morsula with the Butter Sword, you will deal no damage to him.
Yes. But if I remember correctly, that is because they actually gave the spikes in that room the same value as the water sword and just made it so that that value cannot damage Morphula. I'm
Yeah.
not 100% sure. Someone in chat
I-
can second that, perhaps.
I don't know about that. This is something the developers might be able to confirm.
Well, or the people that actually took all the work to.
Yeah, I
Look
mean the
into-
randomizer developers.
Ah.
They took looks into the logic. They know why that is. They know how they changed it. The actual really nice part about this run is we kind of don't have to do huge shoutouts here for the people involved with developing and testing and doing a lot of stuff for the randomizer. The credits will do this for us later on.
Yes. So yeah, and Crrool went into Ice Palace. And yeah, like I said, he will most likely make really quick work out of this.
Yeah, and right now a quick shout out that we have is actually going to Gamer Carl, who is in chat right now, and as he mentioned, he was asked to generate this seed. And to generate a seed that will not take like 2.5, 3 hours to complete or not be like 1 hour short. And I think he did a really good job to find an interesting seed here. We see pretty much still kind of a close race. Zeta isn't that far behind. May look like he is, but actually
He still has to
can-
find the fire rod though, and
yeah, but he's getting his book right now, and I'm sure he will head to the medallion.
tablets.
Yes, thanks. Right after that. Words. I can.
Let's hope that will happen, yes. He doesn't get distracted by something else in the meantime.
And yeah,
Here the bomb jump from
the
Crrool.
IPBJ, Ice Palace Bomb Jump. It is an interesting strat, and depending on how you're used to your sprite, it is different. I love to run Dark Link for
Yes.
now because he has the same sprite as regular Link, just with different colors. And so I can use the visual cue from the vanilla game for it. Crrool is trying to set up with the shadow of his sword. And yeah, just saying screw it, I'm going for the intended way here. It is a bit slower, but not too bad.
Yeah, and he has the Cane of Samaria, which mainly is required for that strat, so...
Yeah, he still needs to either get the big key and a small key, or find another crystal switch.
Yes, exactly. But in my opinion, that action shows that he is confident that he is in the lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you start to mess up IPBJ in a race, you get nervous. It's hard to actually try for it again and again and again. It gets harder every time. And at some point, you just decide to say, no, thank you. I'm going for the intended strats here. It is better than to die and lose a lot of time.
Well, he still had a blue goo and he had...
Oh, Zeta sadly not remembering that you can flute over to the guy who opens the lunchbox.
He could
Oh.
even save and quit for
No,
that.
I know what he does. That is smart. He is taking the long route to hand in the chest, mirror back and get bombos, which is Fire Rod. That is
Okay,
a
fair
really
enough.
smart move.
But is it actually faster
Yes,
than
it
going
is.
up?
It is
getting-
faster because you had to go all the way back up to your house, or nearly to your house. Use the hammer, switch maybe back to another item after that before you go to the mirror, depending if you have a weapon. You have to head over all the way back here again. It is a lot of running around. And on the other hand, Zeta just got back into the portal
Oh no.
Yeah, quick mirror bonk can happen. Not too bad. And he is coming up to the tablet, and I think he will be glad to see that one.
Oh yes. He
Getting
will
cold
be
hand here. Yeah, we see the quick nut from him there. And Bombos inside Ice Palace. That is interesting. You can actually clear this place if you have Bombos. And the boss is kind of weak in his first phase to Bombos. Kind of really weak to it. Takes 8 shots with the Fire Rod, which is half of your magic bar on half magic and full magic bar if you have full magic. Normal magic. But the use of Bombos will instantly unfreeze him and allow you to progress with only a little bit of your magic used up.
Yeah, though the Fire Rod strat is about 3 seconds faster. Than
It is a
using
bit
combos.
faster if you have a good sword for Cold Stare, how the boss is called.
Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cold Stare. And if you don't have a good sword, like you have the Master Sword, using Bombos and Fire Rod is actually helping a lot. This speeds up the fight.
Okay, yeah, for the whole
So-
fight, yes. I just meant the first
Yeah, first phase is faster just with Fire Rod, because you can spam the attack pretty much all the time. But not having Butter or Tempered Sword, the Fire Rod is very useful. Oh. So, Crrool releasing the B here, just to get himself a nice fairy. No, he wants to be back!
Release the bee!
Yeah, okay. Absolutely intended. And it's a good bee, so it will actually follow you around.
So, actually, B% also confirmed.
Yes.
And Xitaczz is a little bit struggling with the Wall Masters, Dungeon Masters, however they are called.
Yeah, Wall Masters, Ceiling Masters, Dungeon Masters. I heard a lot of names for them.
Okay.
I tend to call them Wall Masters.
Okay, and Crrool actually going with the Bombo strat here.
Yeah, and you see he still has nearly a full magic bar here. If he likes to go for the Fire Rod, which he has no reason to do so. He has the strongest sword in the game, and you saw how quickly he dealt with Cold Stare there. And
That is the second to last crystal for Crrool here.
meanwhile, Zeta is now lighting up the torches. Nice. This time it works really well for him. And he's trying to actually powder this bunny beam. That is not an easy thing to do. You can only powder it while it is still not moving. And it starts to move really fast.
And he actually needed that key there,
Yes.
because he didn't have a spare.
Takes a long time to kill the Gyptos.
What
The
is
mummies.
3 slashes with butter?
2 or 3 with butter, 4 slashes with a tempered sword, or 4 hammer strikes, which I needed to do at some point. That was really fun. In that room with the torches. Yeah, with the current health situation, Zeta kind of can just tank a lot of the hits.
He still has
A blue
though,
ghoul
so-
here, so no problem at all.
And fire rods.
Yeah, we will see Fire Rod strats here because
Ooh, nice
Morsula
hits.
is really, really weak to the Fire Rod. There he goes.
And that is
That
Morsula
was
down.
nice use of the Fire Rod here. Meanwhile, Crrool is entering Todorok.
Well, getting to open up Turtle Rock. And
Yeah.
it was way
Entering the area. For me, it is, if you open that portal, it's entering Turtle Rock. I know it is outside of Turtle Rock, but you actually need to do that.
Yes. So yeah, Xitaczz lost a little bit of time in the second part of Skull Woods, but he has some time to make up in Ice Palace.
Yeah,
But
and
first, he's going to get some goo.
yeah, he has 1,200 rupees. Why not spend some of it on the potions here? Yeah, it's true. Moss isn't that weak to Fire Rod, so it's no bonus damage, but it knocks him around a whole lot. He doesn't get stuck in spikes so much. You can move him from the spikes that way. And it more often than not hits him for damage, actually.
Yeah, and also if you hit the spikes like below Mothula, it will damage Mothula in the end, which is a neat thing if you don't get to hit Mothula directly.
Yeah, but one of the worst rooms in the game is ahead of Crrool. Not right now, but pretty soon there is the Chain Chomp room.
Oh
And
yes.
that room can ruin your day.
Oh yes. I've been stuck there for 5 minutes at some point because the chain chomps were no good doggos.
How about some vanilla big key in here? That would be kind of interesting.
It is kind of looking that way.
Yeah, it's possible.
Only chain chomp room is left other than
Yes. And Chain Chomp room doesn't need to be a key, because a small key, because they already have one. And there is the big
it
key.
is, okay.
Sad time. But maybe a small key in the big chest, big key chest.
We will never know, most likely. Because
if-
that chest will not be checked.
The big chest.
Ah,
If there's a key in big chest, they actually need to grab that one. Else they can't finish the dungeon. Yeah, it is not on Laser Bridge in that case.
well, yeah. If there is actually a key in big key chest and in the big chest, then yes. But that is the only way that works actually. And we see Bomberman again, just
Yeah.
for a short amount of time though.
Yeah, if you take damage, you actually turn back into your normal form from the bunny. So the developer kind of didn't want you to get chained to death without a chance to fight back, just because you got hit by one bunny beam. It is nice to have that one.
Certainly, yes.
Crrool is heading for the big chest. He knows there might be a small key in there.
Yeah, and the time loss is really big if you actually skip that chest, and it is
Yes.
not
And
down
it's
there.
not so costly to check it. Second try here on the Ice Palace bomb jump. Zeta is lining himself up for the jump. This
Good.
actually looks good.
Nice,
Yes, first try.
try.
First try every time.
Easy peasy, no problem.
Yeah, I think it's a bit about being nervous in a race that makes you sometimes lose it. But usually in normal runs, you nail it first or second try.
Why don't you use the hook shot? You can actually.
I
defeat
don't know
these-
if Zeta knows.
Yeah, but you generally can one-shot these enemies with the hook shot.
Meanwhile, intense platform action from Crrool,
Oh yes.
holding down, then to the right, then down, left again. It's really interesting, really hard. Completely skipping laser bridge here. Yeah, found the small key in the big chest. That is something really useful on your run.
Yes, he could also just straight out skip the key in the room before you get down into the dark room, because he already had enough keys.
Well, it's not always a key, that is the point. And most likely it wouldn't be a key in this
In this situation,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a
No,
key.
no, it
Yes.
couldn't be a key. The last key is actually on the vanilla big key location. There has to be a key, else you would lock the game. And Crrool is going for his usual strats. These are Master Sword strats for the heads. You attack the fire head first usually if you have Butter Sword. And a costly death here for Zeta. Getting the game over, that is something you don't want to see. You get set back to the entrance of Ice Palace here. That is not fun.
Oh, only one hit on.
Yeah, but it's
Second
one Butter Sword hit.
Yeah,
It's only
it's-
3 hits with Butter Sword.
It
Blue
is
Mail,
Butter Sword, yeah.
12 health remaining. That fight pretty much can't go wrong for you.
That is correct.
Even with the slower strats of using the Fire Rod first. Usually you use the Ice Rod, kill the Fire Head with 3 slashes. Before the Sword Slash, you change to the Fire Rod already and head right over to the Ice Head. Both have no time to attack you with Butter Sword, that is.
So, and I guess it is time for our guessing game in Xitaczz.
Yeah, there are a few chests which can have the big key, and we want to see numbers in chat between 1 and 22. We already have the first numbers here, also from the audience. You're free to guess with us. What are you saying, Yume?
I'm going with 22 and gamble on that being the tile room.
Yeah, 7 cents, and Furaz is also calling 22. I'm calling Bob chest, because I love Bob.
Who doesn't love Bob? I mean, he looks so derpy, you have to love him.
And this is a usual start. The first 2 chests here, always the same. Small key, which is nice to have. And bombs.
The,
And
the perfect start denied.
Crrool not going for the right side gamble here. I can't blame him for that. You could go for right side first, but it has less items. Meanwhile, Zeta getting a bit unlucky after another successful bomb jump.
No!
Rip Bob! This was Bob. Sad times. We will not see the glitched anti-fairy. Because it only happens if you don't pick up the item on the torch there. We call it the Bob torch at times. For exactly that reason. But that were the first 3 chests. Oh,
Cave
blue
of
cave.
Birna. Nice. Well, it's more or less a nice to have.
Yeah.
And the sword beam strats there to
Yeah.
get rid of the
So
stallfoot.
this was already 7.
And Sita got the bomb jump again, so he is heading to Colts there soonish. Oh, and the silver arrow strats. That
Yeah,
is-
he seems to not know about the hookshot strats.
doesn't
And
seem like
the
it.
spinning fire bars of Doom Room also not having the big key. This was number 8.
Exactly.
And Bob chest is number 13. No, 14.
14 you said
14. I
earlier,
forgot the chest Crrool is about to reach right now. Sure.
yeah. We have, yeah.
We have a €5 donation from Consta Monster saying it's 2 days late, but I wanted to thank Crrool for the entertaining Lufia 2 run. I only stayed until 6 in the morning, but it was the best entertainment I've witnessed during a speedrun marathon. Looking forward to Lufia 1.
Yeah, Crrool meanwhile found the red tunic here, giving him the perfect setup for not taking so much damage. And there is the big key.
That was
It
number
wa-
10.
It was number 10, 11.
11.
Number 11. If you had number 11, congratulations. You win nothing. Sorry. We can't give out something every time someone guesses the right number.
Oh.
There are way
strats.
too many.
The strats on Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cape Strats on Cold
Nice.
Stare, very nice. With the Master Sword, I can't blame Zeta at all. It's a solid
Just
strat.
fire rods the crap out of
Well,
it.
you can kill 2 of them with hard magic, but not all 3.
You can actually hit all 3 of
Yeah,
them
you
if
can,
you time it properly in the beginning, so
Yeah, but
it is I didn't say it is easy.
No,
It's
not
just
at all.
sad it is a thing.
Yes, but I would have gone for Fire Rod 2 to kill at least 2 of them and finish off the last one. That is that makes the fight so much more manageable.
Also,
having
he
only
has
one.
so much blue.
And nice by Crrool there, trapping all the
Oh my god,
spikes.
rip headphone users.
Yeah, sorry about that. And Crrool is going for the casual walk. Yeah, just saying cannonballs on a bridge, I don't care. And he's heading into Gauntlet.
Yes, the Gauntlet is a stretch of some rooms back to back where you have to defeat all the enemies in the room to get to the next room. And that second room, that Stolfos is not a fan of Crrool, it seems. Also, Sita on his way to get to T-Rock to get the last crystal. Okay. Crrool is struggling a little bit, but a nice snipe on that Stolfos there. And will he get the bunny beam? Yes, he
Yes, this means that his Landmolars 2 fight will be a lot more difficult than it usually is. Getting that bunny beam to be a fairy speeds up Landmolars here. They will jump out of the ground much faster. It is something you need to get used to.
A
It
good
is a
two-cycle though.
nice 2-cycle. Meanwhile, Zeta is heading over to Turtle Rock. Still a very good run on his end. He only has the Master Sword.
Yes, and here the Wizrobe room, the first one for Crrool.
Yeah.
Using the Cane of Somaria strats there, which...
Really cool trick. It looks super impressive. You go in this room, use the Cane of Somaria, it instantly kills all of the enemies in there. And it's not that hard to pull off. That is the best part about it. But it looks really nice.
The quadruple kill on the bridge.
Yeah. That one
Which
is luck.
is like 100% RNG if you get that or not.
Yeah, if they decide to dislike you, they just set up in a way that you actually get hit by them and push
Yes.
off of the bridge.
Yes, I know that feel.
Crrool still going for the health, instantly losing it again.
And also
But
for the
he is
magic.
taking his time to not accidentally despawning the sprites here in Ganon Tower.
Well, fair
He
enough.
would head up the stairs at the exact right time. Well, exact
wrong.
wrong time. Exactly when the torches go out and the door closes. If it screen transitions at exactly that point in time, all sprites from Ganon Tower despawn. This includes all of the bosses. And this makes it impossible to finish Ganon Tower. You have to mirror out and do all these stuff again.
Oh, and Trolldorm being Trolldorm.
Actually claiming a victim.
He's claiming his place as the king of the hill here. Or well, more or less defending that
Yeah.
place.
Spin threads here are just to make it easier to hit him. With other swords you want to deal more damage, but works in a way that every sword kind of uses the next sword's damage for a spin. And
we
the validation
got
chest.
$20 out of the validation chest.
So yeah, both were talking about grabbing that chest or not before the run, and both said they will grab the chest.
I mean, it is validation chest after all, so...
Yeah, you either have to grab it or at least bomb it.
Or bombos it.
Well, if
or
you have the
quake
time.
it, or do whatever you want with it.
And while Zeta might not have the best luck here, he is actually doing pretty well here. Dodging all of the chain chomps really good right now.
Yeah, and Dagon 2-5 on Crrool's side.
Yeah, again,
Which was a really good 3-cycle.
yes.
Yeah, it was a 3-cycle.
Again, a bit of RNG here. Sometimes he fires blue balls, which you can't reflect, and it is the same for all seeds. So in every seed it is for all the players the same this way. So Zeta not heading for the big chest here. That isn't good. So you don't win anything over your opponent in the same seed, but it is random between seeds. You don't get the same every time.
Yeah.
And with Buttersword, Crrool enters the last fight. Time is coming up as soon as Crrool enters the door after the fight. This isn't too much ahead from now, maybe a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Yeah,
Most
Crrool is
likely.
already in phase 3 of Ganon here. He only needs to hit him 4 more times in this phase and get in 4 silver arrows to kill off Ganon.
This will roughly take half a minute from here on, I guess.
Yeah, depending on the teleports. If Ganon decides to be really funny right now, he starts
I
to do
guess-
stuff like
oh
this.
my god, Ganon, please.
Yes, I had to mention
Oh my
this.
god, you jinxed it. Gosh darn.
Yeah, not going for the early hit here.
Which I don't
Preparing for torch
understand,
glitch.
But, well, he can get at least a double in here,
Yes,
though.
and no, it's a single.
denied.
Not too bad.
Okay.
Still good enough. He has a torch glitch. This means if you light up the torch to the left before the right one goes out, the right one will never go out in the run. And this is GG for Crrool pretty much, but time is coming up as soon as he enters that door. It's one more cutscene right now. Link
Wow.
celebrating.
This pseudo cutscene.
Yeah. And it
that
is
is
time.
Around 2
The
hours.
winner is you.
Come again?
Around 2 hours, I would say.
Feel free to switch that one into the other overlay. That was it. 206.
206.
It's a rough seed. It's
And-
a longer seed than I expected it to be, but
Yeah, it was fun to watch. It was really interesting.
Oh yes.
interesting seeds for sure.
And
You?
yeah, Zeta is now heading down to fight Trinex after grabbing some keys. He has some fairies with him. It shouldn't be too bad. His biggest problem will be the Master Sword for him.
Oh, he's still on Master Seed?
Yes.
He is still on the
He
Master
is on
Sword.
Yikes.
Well, I mean, seriously, I would just spin slash Trinex in the second phase first and then go over to the hammer. That is
Yeah.
the safest strat, I guess. What are you doing, Zeta?
Zeta is
Oh,
checking
he is
for
looking for a
swords.
sword, I guess.
No, safety, safety.
Oh, the safe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the safety here.
Kind of. Yeah, here in the credits we get information on all the stuff you get.
arrow upgrade. Arrow upgrade on the witch, actually. So that shroom would have not worth it to
Yeah.
get.
The 2 wood choppers. Well, they seem to like their job. boy feels love again.
Oh yes. Okay, Venus is usually nothing special because she doesn't do anything.
In the vanilla game, she sells the upgrades.
Well, but in the randomizer she
Yeah.
does not really do
Dwarves.
anything.
They are not Bradsmiths this time around.
Yeah. For once.
That was a very solid ice head on Trinix there by Zeta. Let's see how he does against the fire head.
One more.
The boom enlarging kit.
No, still one more. Come on, Sita. Nice.
No, but he has
still
a fairy. Still wastes a little bit of time. And every sprite has its own death animation, like Miss for Kirby. The ghost actually turns into a grave.
The Toho characters actually turning into the power-ups that you get in Toho.
And the
yeah.
invisible man, of course, being invisible. It is the worst sprite. Why are people trying to actually run it in tournaments?
What turns the purple chest into? I've never seen
I
that.
don't know. And the broken heart sleeps again forever. So pedestal was a heart piece, not even a full heart.
We have a €11 and 11 cent donation from About a Dirk saying GG to Crrool. Well played to Zeta as well. Thanks to everyone there and in the chat for entertaining us, and good luck with the fundraiser, guys and gals. Bedtime for this fanboy. Have fun, stay awesome.
Yeah, and now that the credits start on Crrool's side, we have the other game guess the number of bonks Crrool had during his run. Just add numbers in the chat.
You guys know, by the way, who picked the seed? Okay.
Yeah. We gave the shout out to GamerCal.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ensure that.
Yes.
was the thing.
So I see a 29, 32, 20. I'm saying 35.
I didn't catch that much of the run itself. I would just go with like 25.
It were early boots, so numbers below 30 would be really good. And now
but I
we
didn't-
get the actual shoutouts, by the way, for the developers of this. They are coming up pretty soon on Crrool's end. This is the original team for Link to the Past. Yes, shoutouts to them too. They made the great game.
Of course, yeah. But yeah, now it starts with all the people that contributed to this randomizer, the logics, the
Like
testing, and all the
Carcat.
stuff. Oh, and Zeta actually is going for
right side gamble here.
right side. Is he?
Won't pay off.
Yeah, it won't pay off, but he feels like he is behind, so he might as well try. Maybe knows that it's over.
Oh, and yeah,
Yeah.
Kirby turns into Meta Knight,
Of course.
which, oh my god, it was so funny when I saw that the first time when I played Kirby. I couldn't stop myself from laughing like an idiot for around a minute. Cause Meta Knight looks so cute.
It was a pretty heavy check on Crrool's side. Here you see 135 out of 160 chests checked. Other places 33 out of 56. The total 168 out of 216. That is a lot. And a few other stats here, chests, deaths are coming up soon. How he performed in dungeons, what he checked in dungeons, how many bosses he defeated with different swords. All the fun stuff you want to know after you had a 2-hour seed. This is absolutely what you want to see.
Oh yes.
Just confirms the kind of troll this seed was.
Items pre-Ganon key are 11. That isn't too bad. Yeah, level 4 sword bosses are 5. And,
And
we have
23 bonks. I was only 2 off.
23 bonks on a 2-hour seed with early boots. That is really, really good.
Well, Crrool didn't have them that early. Xitaczz got them relatively early.
5 minutes 52 item menu time and 11 minutes 20 seconds lag time. That is
solid.
good. For how long the run was.
Xitaczz actually opting to go directly to ice armors from the right side. That's been some time since I saw that happening.
And I think we have a donation.
Probably calls it
We
like
do indeed. We have a €20 donation from Sans Skill saying validation chest, Crrool we. GG Crrool on winning the randomizer. Hashtag campfire.
Yeah, that room Xitaczz in right now is kind of dangerous. I mean, there are spikes, fire bars, the floor is falling apart. It's not something you actually would like to see in real life, I think. The other rooms are not as dangerous. It looks more like normal traps in a dungeon, but this one is clearly set up to just ruin your day.
Oh yes. Actually, if I remember correctly, you can bonk from the side directly onto
Yes.
the platform here.
It is possible, but also
It
a little
is
bit
really
tricky.
tight.
You have to get used to it. And we are going to see Bob on Xitacz's end here.
Yes, Bob
So
hype.
get yourself hyped for Bob, because Bob is our friend. And well, the first time I saw him, it was as a child playing that game casually, and I got freaked out. That was really something. You think when you're a kid and you see that anti-fairy, what is going on?
That is only in the randomizer, mate.
No. It happens in
This-
the normal game too. And this
Really?
is Bob.
This
yes.
is Bob, the anti-fairy.
And no, rip Bob.
No!
They're actually killing Bob.
It's not
But-
Kill Bill, it's Kill Bob.
Yeah,
here.
the other one became Bob.
Yeah, the other one turns into Bob 2.0 from that. But we don't kill Bob. It's Bob. It's the only anti-fairy with a name.
Hashtag save Bob.
And after Ice Armors, we find another heart piece to fill the health back up to full. That is actually not as bad as expected. It wastes time, but at least it's safety. Yeah, you're pretty much set up for Ganon with 14 hearts and blue mail. There's not
Well,
much that
he will
could,
actually find red mail on
Yes.
the way there.
but there's not much that could go wrong.
Well, he still has Master Sword, don't forget about this.
Yeah, but you pretty much have to hack Ganon multiple times. And
yes.
it's not a good idea. Ganon might look like he needs a hack and would turn good again if he gets it. Nope. it's
Don't
not the
hug
case.
that pig. Just not.
I tried to convince him with hacks that it's not a good idea to fight. But on Blue Mail, the hacks aren't as bad anymore.
It's just like 3 hearts on blue
Oh,
mail.
a bit more. It is 8 hearts on Green Mail.
And then it's 4, actually.
So on Green Mail, you absolutely want to stay away from Ganon. Even if you find all health upgrades, you can only take 2 hugs. Yeah, the spins on Master Sword Ganon are annoying. You have to hit him 12 times for the first 2 phases. The third phase is always 3 hits, so no difference there. And with the silver arrows, the fourth phase also 4 sword spin hits.
Well, depends on how many silver arrows you get in.
Yes.
And we have Red Kirby with a red shield.
Yeah.
How hype is that, guys?
Kirby actually disappears behind the smaller shields already. Link will disappear if he has the Riot or Mirror Shield. But with Mirror Shield, Kirby is like completely gone. The shield
I've
is...
never seen that, actually.
You can see the level 2 shield is bigger than Kirby already, or as big.
Yes.
And the Mirror Shield is like double the size. And this was actually a chest 22 for Zeta. The last possible chest.
So
It is
hey, I
something-
was kind of right, at least for Sita.
It is...
I'm jinxing that man today so much. I am so freaking sorry.
during practice, calling out all the locations and trolley locations, and Zeta got them like all. Was not fun anymore.
Yeah. That man is having a bad day because of me, kinda.
So for Zeta today, it's blame Yume.
Yep. Hashtag blame me.
On the other hand,
On the other hand, he killed Bob. So
Yes,
he
he did.
deserves it.
that is true. Absolutely true. Don't kill Bob.
That is Bob's wrath.
Hashtag blame Zeta.
Kill or save the Bob.
Yeah, that
Sadly,
is
the Bob torch can have the big key, and that way it can't be an incentive because we kind of have to kill Bob for that one.
well, you could make it so that if it's not required 100% sure, you have to kill him or not, so...
Yeah.
But here, also Sita in the gauntlet now.
It is a quick succession of 5 pretty dangerous rooms.
With
There
a lot
was
of
a
lasers
nice arrow,
and
yeah.
spikes and eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty much the
And
game asking, hey, do you like spikes and lasers? And how about ice added to that? No, please?
And conveyor belts. Don't forget conveyor belts.
Yeah, but they are...
They
like
are
the
like the
nice
best
part.
thing in these rooms, yeah.
And this room has an enemy that can dodge your attack and will attack back with a throwing weapon for that. Ice floors, shoots fireballs and lasers at you. And pretty much is set up to be the final nice greeting from the gauntlet. Yeah, you nearly made it. Here, have another really difficult room. Sadly missing 2 of the Lamolas there.
Yeah, but the recoveries were not bad.
Yeah,
Aw, a
going
little bit
into
too
the ground
slow
a
there.
bit too fast. There are faster and
Nice.
slower dives from Lamolas. They can stay up longer or shorter, and the longer ones are kind of good. It's what you want, because it makes it much easier to hit them.
Yeah, because sometimes you can just not recover.
And another time, the quick
No.
work here. Oh, missing one of the Wizards. It can happen.
And the fairy drop.
Yeah, I'm glad that we actually pointed out to Zeta earlier today that you can't dash through the Linoons with only the Master Sword. He didn't know that. He would have had a bad time up on Death Mountain on his way to Ganon Tower.
Oh, yes.
If you dash into them, this is so much damage. And knowing that the Master Sword will not help you is really good. because I dashed into them with only the Master Sword and wondered why I was dying.
Yes, I know that feel because they just don't get any knockback from that sword.
Yeah. Also, Zeta not despawning all the sprites here in Ganon Tower. That is
That would
really
have not been fun right now.
yeah,
but
that would have been just painful. And hopefully he remembers.
Oh,
He's
the
still-
red meringue!
The bad boomerang. Well, casually, it's a good one.
The lag meringue, how I
He
like
remembers,
to call
good.
it.
He was missing one small key, but he remembered to kill the mini Helmosaur there. Nice movement without a bonk. You can use different movement techniques there.
And he is still looking for a sword. I don't blame him for
Yes. The swords can very well be in Ganon Tower, at least the third, second, third, and fourth upgrade. If Misery Mire and or Turtle Rock or Skullwoods is required, the seed has to give you a sword before Ganon Tower, because you actually need a sword to enter that. You have the medallions, which require swords to be activated, and you have a curtain in the way for Mosula, all requiring swords. Yeah, very solid fight against Moldom 2 there from Zeta, getting his revenge for his practice earlier today,
Oh yes.
where it actually was Trolldorm.
Yeah, Trolldorm won that fight actually, I would say.
Yeah, also 2 in the training, but nice lineup. This can be a double sad times,
He was...
but
Oh.
oh,
Oh, that setup is so bad.
yeah, you can try to get multiple hits in there, but it's hard. That
Ooh,
was a
that
nice
was-
one.
Huh?
But he moved too far up. If he
Ah.
is against the wall, this will happen.
Okay, one more if I counted correctly.
Ah,
Oh, close one.
that
And
would have
the
been
blue
a
balls,
really
of
good one.
course.
We are seeing pretty much a really good
Nice.
fight here
That
on
was
the later
solid, yeah.
cycles of Aga 2. And here we go into the Ganon fight. One of the options for Zeta would be get through phase 1 with spins. Check if you have blue goo, yes. And use the cape for the second phase. Just cape and attack with as much as you can. And the other option is to actually try and get in the spins how you're supposed to do it.
Oh, denied.
6,
And we are looking at 12 spin hits here.
7,
We are at number 8, 9, 10, 11.
Come on, get
12,
this in.
nice.
That was a little bit too late though.
Yeah, but still it was a hit. 1. And now
He is
the
going to the-
dangerous
Isn't
phase.
he going to the cave?
No,
Oh,
I.
he
Yeah,
is.
now he is. 2,
2,
3.
3.
Ah.
He
He still has his ferry.
That was a little bit early though.
Yeah.
For the Lugu.
Well, it depends on what you want to do. He can actually now tank a lot of damage.
Yeah, but right now I would more or less just go for having that magic to use the cape, to be honest.
Yes.
But that is personal preference.
Exactly. Everyone has their preference how to do it. I would usually take fairies first if I have them, and use magic at the later phase. But Zeta is progressing through the fight here. And I think he is not worried too much about the third and fourth phase of the fight. They are fairly easy with
Yeah, with silvers.
silvers and red. But he now has to watch his magic, because he still needs to relight the torch,
No.
taking the damage. But he has a fairy, so
Yeah, but he is losing the charge there, so
yes.
he will get a fire bat most likely. Yes.
Yeah, first one you can simply dodge that. He is not going to stomp at the very first one there.
No
Fire bat,
bat.
but the hit. And we know he is teleporting a little bit now. Because that was Crrool's phase 4. Sorry to jinx that one.
Well, that was no jinxing. I mean, the RNG was already decided.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nice torch glitch there. Don't take a fall, don't take a death. That is nice.
That is a double hit, hopefully.
One, but one is okay.
Okay.
Oh, a little bit too late. This is actually how you fight Ganon without silver arrows.
Don't pull a silver last now, please.
Yeah, it takes quite some time. And Zeta is
One more hit.
about to reach time as well. One more hit with the silvers. Yes,
Yes,
that
he
is
got
it.
it.
That is the Ganon kill. That is GG to Zeta. And again, time is after the door. And time.
Time. Nice.
This was something.
Yes, it sure was something.
So unlucky on those swords. Oh, I don't even want to know, I think. I think Crrool might have it.
I had butter.
Yeah, I figured. But you probably checked more than I did.
Spiky Cave
I didn't check
and
anymore.
the big key chest in Eastern.
Ah.
No,
You,
No.
Ah.
Armos.
You probably went straight for the boss.
It had to be Armos in Eastern.
Eastern was pendant. The
Because I did check
sword
the big
was.
No big key chest.
I did check that.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So it
the-
had to be Armos.
No, the chest. If you go all the way to the right
that
and
one,
through the
where
dark.
actual thing
Yeah,
you normally
Yeah,
hit.
that's what
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah, I skipped
Yeah.
that one.
exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that was the Link to the Past randomizer race. Next is Kirby Superstar Ultra 100%.
And
Yeah.
if you want to learn more about the randomizer, just contact people from the community. We have a Discord. We help out new people. We welcome everybody in. It's a lot of fun.